Hello fellows and enthusiasts, my name is Christina and welcome to another Let's Get Reelz movie review. Today's movie I will be reviewing for you is King Arthur, The Legend of the Sword from this year, 2017, and directed by Guy Ritchie and starring Charlie Hunnam. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Jude Law, and a whole bunch of other really good actors. So this version of King Arthur, as directed by Guy Ritchie, is very sci-fi. I'm just gonna put it out there that to me it was a very, very sci-fi King Arthur, but it really delved into the mythology of King Arthur and the whole, you know, if you've ever read King Arthur or heard about King Arthur, there's like this huge mythology around him, and unlike other movies of the past, it really like delved into that mythology, but in a very like sci-fi and then very Guy Ritchie way. It was just such a dude movie. Like, it was definitely made for guys to be going to see this movie, and it was interesting. I'm not really gonna go into too much of the whole story because I really hope a lot of you guys have seen a King Arthur movie, or you've read about King Arthur, or you've at least heard it in some way. King Arthur pulled the sword from the stone. Before he was a king, he was like a ward or something, and this movie tells it a little bit differently, and it was really, really cool actually, and something very different from the King Arthur movies that have been out previously. So in this one, when Arthur pulls out the sword from the stone, he has these visions of, you know, what happened when he was younger. He didn't really remember what happened to him. His father, King Uther Pendragon, he was killed, I'm gonna put it that way. His mother had definitely been killed. They were killed by his evil uncle, played by Jude Law, and I unfortunately forget the evil uncle's name. And then the evil uncle takes over, and he's trying like desperately to find Arthur because he doesn't want Uther's line coming back and taking over the country and taking over the throne. So he like just brings males, like rounds up males in Londinium, not London yet, it was still kind of like Roman world, there was Roman influence in there, and he has them come in, and all the guys have to try and pull the sword from the stone. So Arthur is actually like accidentally brought to his uncle's castle, and he is put in the line, and he takes the sword out of the stone, but as soon as he touches it, he sees these flashbacks that he really has no idea what's going on. So like a whole merry band of misfits gets together, they try and teach Arthur. They're like, hey, you gotta, you know, look at what's going on. Every time you touch a sword, you gotta go through it. And it's really like this huge kind of like mindfuck thing that goes on whenever he touches it. It's like your mind is going on this like mindfuck journey with him, and you're like, what the hell? Really kind of cool, very different. And you know, and then they do conquer Arthur's evil uncle, and it's just, as I said, it is like a definite sci-fi King Arthur. I think Guy Ritchie did a very interesting and very new take on King Arthur. The sci-fi aspect I really wasn't expecting, so I was a little bit taken aback by that. You know, looking back on how I felt when I first saw this movie, I was like, I don't really like this too much. I thought the movie was okay. I still think that the movie is okay, but it was different. It was very, very different. It was funny, it was quick, it was dramatic. There was a lot of dramatic moments, a lot of kind of like almost scary moments, and there was just some really cool scenes that will make you look at the King Arthur legend a little differently now. I know I definitely will. I do love the story of King Arthur. It's something I've always been very interested in, so I was like, okay, this is very, very different, a good take on it, you know, and anything that could give me a new perspective on a story that I'm familiar with, or, you know, just a different perspective on something but that's, you know, commonplace in literature, a lot of people know. So the cast was really good. There's a whole bunch of people, as I said at the beginning. You have Charlie Hunnam, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. He was very hot, very gorgeous. Anything that he wore, I was just like, or didn't wear, I was like, yes, please. His acting's really good. I think I've only ever seen him besides this movie in Crimson Peak. He was really good in Crimson Peak, so it was nice to see him in something else, and something where he had to like really kick a lot of ass and really, like, you know, you get to see his acting more. He was the main character in this movie. You had Eric Bana, who played Uther Pendragon. As I said, you had Drew Law, who plays Arthur's uncle. You had Jamon Hanso, and again, he's another actor I never know how to pronounce his name. He was good. He was in it. I think he was like kind of like a mystic person, if my memory is correct. And there were a whole bunch of other people scattered throughout this movie that I kind of forget who they were, but the cast was just really good. Everyone from Charlie Hunnam down. And I gotta give the mention to this because I almost like died, because I love him, and also because I thought it was like kind of hysterical and really weird that he'd be in this movie. David Beckham, yes, the David Beckham, the soccer star, the one that is married to a Spice Girl, was in King Arthur for like maybe 5 minutes, but he's got like this like really like scarred up, ripped up face makeup on, and he sounds like a little boy. Like, if you've never for some reason have heard David Beckham talk, he sounds like a little boy. And he was like kind of like he was bossing Arthur to put his hand on the sword. And like, I couldn't take him seriously because he just sounds like a little boy, and he's so sexy. And just like, you know, even with the face crap on, like, you know, he looks like his one side of his face got ripped up. I was just like, oh man, that's David Beckham up on the big screen. And yeah, that was interesting to see. Wasn't too bad. I mean, he didn't really have like, you know, a huge scene where he had to like really act. He's just like, hey, yo, put your hand on the sword. And that was about it. So King Arthur, The Legend of the Sword, really is not a bad movie. I think it's good to see once. Definitely check it out if you guys want to. I kind of wish I had saved my money for when my brother gets it, because I know he's definitely gonna get it. He really liked the movie. I took him to see it. But you know what? If you want to see different aspects of the King Arthur legend, if you want to see something different, something, you know, that's not like a lot of the movies that are out there now, definitely go check out King Arthur, The Legend of the Sword. It was good. I am glad that I saw it, but I kind of wish I didn't pay to go see it in the movies. But, you know, don't let me stop you from going to see it in the movies if you want to. It's still good, a good experience. So that was my review of King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. If you like this review in any way, please give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below if you have seen King Arthur, The Legend of the Sword. Let's talk about it. Maybe there's something I missed. Maybe there's something, you know, if you guys can give me a different perspective, a different aspect, you know, of the film. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I'm just not seeing something. Leave it there and we'll discuss it. Also in the comments, if you have any suggestions of what I should watch next, leave them there. And if I pick your movie and I watch it and I review it, I'll give you a shout out. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for future Let's Get Reelz movie reviews, because that is what I like to do here. And as always, keep watching movies and stay absolutely fabulous.